My name is Ibe Okwara Osonwa, Ukabo Ohafia, and I represent the very prosperous people of Arochukwu Ohafia Federal Constituency. But you can't have one because there is a combination of things that adds to a critical mass. Now, you have to take into consideration the area. No directive, no initiative is set up as a one-stop shop. You always have to take into consideration the area that you are dealing with. Everything has to be very local. Ohafia is a community of farmers. So you take into consideration the farmers. Now, how do you help them? You first, from my own understanding and the way I want to look at it, is to shift the thoughts, have a complete paradigm shift from what we know now or what we have always done, and understand that agriculture is not just agriculture, but you look at it as agribusiness. Now, how do you push agribusiness? You have to make sure that you understand how the business of agriculture is done. So the first thing will be to teach our people, empower them with the knowledge, planting, season planning, land management, and then the commercial aspect of it all. What quantity is to be grown, how to manage that quantity of growth, whether water supply becomes an issue, plan local or small scale irrigation to manage their farms, and then also get to the point where you teach them how to export it. Take advantage of the dry ports that exists right now. The zonal headquarters is in Aba. Take advantage of it so that we can start to bond our products and ship our products out without having to come to Lagos. It makes the whole process seamless. Also work towards programs where we get fertilizer for our people so that they can grow our crops. Yes, our land is very fertile, which is also why we also have erosion issues in our land. It is so fertile, brittle, and grows well. Little water goes a long way. Too much water causes erosion. It's the perfect mix for good and for bad, disaster and complete germination. Beyond all that, you now have to look at all the other things that you can bring on board. You bring on board the taking advantage of the natural resources that Ohafia has from Abia in Anya Ward in Ohafia local government, all the way to Isu, that is in Arochukwu local government, both making up the constituency that I am saddled with the responsibility of looking after and advocating for. We have the largest deposit of limestone, and we need to start to take advantage of that. So, when you consider how an economy works, the only factor of production is the actual capital and expenditural cost of production. And the largest in Nigeria currently is power. That problem still persists in Arochukwu and Ohafia right now. Ohafia, in particular, has not had light in 5 years. We have started addressing those issues by challenging the power distribution companies to come and explain why we haven't had light. B, also challenging the power distribution companies from the point of exorbitant bills that have been provided to the community while not having power. C, replacement of vandalized materials, which we have already done to a large extent, so that when we do have power, there's no interruption in that power because of lack of supply. Now, I am hampering on power because once we solve power, you now make the community an industrial hub. Ohafia as a local government is the third largest city in Abia State. We have the largest army barracks in the southern part of Nigeria. Second largest army barracks in Nigeria as a whole is situated in Ohafia. The room for exponential growth is immense as long as it is well tapped in. We have a federal government college in Ohafia local government. We have being built right now the Hope Water University in Ohafia local government. We have the Nigerian Correction Facilities, prisons, in Arochukwu. We have the biotech, Nigerian biotech industry or plant in Arochukwu. We have a lot of space for growth. We have a lot of room for industrialization of our area. What our biggest problem is right now is power. I have a bill sitting in the House that has gone through first reading and is being prepared for second reading right now to transform the General Hospital in Ohafia to a federal medical center. Again, increasing the presence of government in the area, bringing in workers, doctors, nurses, lab technicians, all into Ohafia local government, which in turn will generate economic activity, which in turn will employ the people. We have a university that is built, that once built, you are going to have students that will come into Ohafia. And when they come in, hostels will be built for them. Hostels will be built for them. People will rent their properties out to them. All that is spurring economic activity. Now, let me make you understand something about economic activity and how it is important to take cognizance of how little things grow. After the Second World War, the German government decided, and the depression in the economy, the German government decided that they needed to spur economic activity. As crazy as it sounds, the German government got their own people to destroy the roads. Then they got their own people to come and fix the roads. Now let's look at it from a Nigerian perspective. The road is bad. They are fixing the road. Guess what? The guy supplying sand is making money. Is creating economic activity. The road that they are fixing is going to need water to be sprayed on it, so the guy bringing water is creating economic activity. Now let's go to the granularity of it. The woman selling bole and rice on the side of the road all of a sudden has economic activity because she has to now provide food that is going to feed the workers. How does that trickle on? She needs to go to the farm or market to go and buy the food from the market that she's going to cook, to sell, water, to drink. That market is spurred on, so they go to the farm to go and buy the food produce that they will need to sell in their farm, in their stores, in the market. It's continual chain reaction, and that starts from one decision to do one thing. And that's what we need. We need something to kickstart our economy and economic activities, and every other thing will follow therein. Economic employment, health provision, and job satisfaction for all. So, I'm just a regular guy. I'm an accountant by vocation. Worked in accounting for a little bit. Decided I didn't like the day-to-day mundane month-end reconciliations and balancings. So I went into a more technical financial point of view of it, of IT. Started with a project with my first employer, where they decided to implement an ERP system. Enjoyed it a little bit too much. I went and studied it and became certified. to be a consultant for finance and controlling in a particular ERP called SAP. Worked a few years, worked in a lot in the financial sector. Worked for ABSA, Merrill Lynch, Deutsche Bank, Lehman Brothers. Worked for the largest car leasing firm in the world called LeasePlan. Also worked for a couple of the largest advertisement agencies in the world, Dentsu Aegis and IPG. All a journey of expanding and diversifying from just basic accounting to systems accounting. But I also had the passion for Nigeria and passion for all things right. Decided to dive head on into politics in Nigeria. Ran in the elections in 2019 with Dr. Alex Oti. We ran under the party of All Progressive Grand Alliance, ABGA. We did well, we did good. We do not like to remember what happened in those elections because we felt disenfranchised. But one thing I didn't allow myself to do is to get deterred. And so in 2023, we ran again. The whole idea is to make people understand that, you see this politics thing, we have all been told the horror stories. They will kill you. Oh, you will have to do this, you will have to do that. It's all an individual thing. It's all an individual thing. I think everybody has the right, and in fact, everybody has the responsibility to know what is happening and to participate in the democracy and the decision-making of their people. Now, I lived in England for a very long time, so I came here, and I am here with the notion of open accountability, continuous interaction with the constituents. I can't see everybody at once. It is impossible to talk to everybody at once, but if I create a fora where I can at least interact with a proportion of the people, it allows me to include everybody in the decision making. Because one thing I wouldn't want is a situation where something is done and it is said that you took the decision. No, 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 no. It's always going to be an us decision. So we have not had any opportunity to do anything so far because the budget that exists is the budget that was created by my predecessor, and that is still what is in action even till today, and today is the 14th of March. The budget that we have direct input into is the budget of 2024, which really kicks into effect from the 1st of April. And that budget, I made sure that I had town hall meetings. The first town hall meeting was in November, where I told our people to draw lots so that I know whom to help first, which communities to focus on first, so that by the end of the 4-year term, every single ward within the 2 local governments would have had some sort of impact. At all, now wish. So we'll make sure that everybody gets small or something. And each ward had the responsibility to go back to their community leaders, development unions of each of those communities, so to create a list of things that they wanted, and we will go out and see how many of those ones we can achieve and deliver. Again, it is inclusivity, accountability, so that when the project starts, our people back home take ownership of it and make sure that it is done properly, because they were the ones that requested it, as opposed to me saying, I am going to do this. And then you people will tell me, it is not what we wanted. No, 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 no. It's us. This bukata is for all of us. So I will never go home with any of these things. It is for all of us. And it is not about wealth creation for an individual. No, 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 no. It is communal development for all. And that's where I come from. That's my focus, that's my drive, and that will be my deliverable. key driver to whatever I'm doing is whom is in front of me or who was in front of me. They say that in our tradition, they say it is the horse in front that other horses look at to run. My father, God rest his soul, was all about community, all about development of his clan, of his people, of his race, of his tribe. And that is all I do. I'm trying to copy him from a different perspective. My father was not a politician, but I want to do it from politics. If I can get the Igbo race up there, if I can project the dignity of an Igbo man, if I can project the intelligence of the Igbo man, if I can project the integrity of an Igbo man, then that means I've achieved more than I ever wanted to achieve. Which is why when I walk around, I spot my cap, my ubuago, because it is a symbol of everything I mean. It is the symbol of every person that I am. I carry the strive and the cause of the proud Arochukwu man. I carry the strive and the cause of the very warrior Ohafia man. I carry the ingenuity and the business acumen of every Abereba man. And I carry the passion that exists within every Mkporo, Ihe, and Isu Ututu man. That is a complete show of me. And then I also have the blood that runs in Udumeze. That is the same blood that runs in Abamonye Ruby in me. I am Ohafia. I am Arochukwu, and that is what I portray, and that is whom I am living. So anyone that knows me would tell you immediately that I'd say that I have two constituents. My first constituent are my family, my wife, and my three beautiful children. And then I have the responsibility of Arochukwu Ohafia. It's a clear balance, it's a clear understanding. I put Chinese walls around certain things. I keep separate my private life from my public life. But I also know that they have to intersect at some point in time. And it's just a delicate balance, understanding my responsibilities as a father, making sure I keep to those responsibilities. I'm a very family person, very hands-on. I know everything. I try to know everything going on in my children's life. I look at my wife not just as my wife, but as my best friend. So I talk to her about every single thing. But I also understand that I owe a duty that I have sworn an oath upon to serve my people of Arochukwu and Ohafia. So it's a delicate balance, but the wonderful thing is that we are all family. As long as you start from that base point that it is family, you're not doing it for outsiders. I don't know how other areas are, but I come from a place where we are all tied by blood. From the Abha man, that is the senior brother, to an Ohafia man. From that to their bloodline relatives in Ihechiowa and Ututu, to our long-line relationship and kingship with the people of Isu and Arochukwu, to our immediate kindred with the man from Abereba and Mkporo. So I am dealing with blood, so it's always easier. And that is my advantage.